Hey everybody, this is Captain Kyle, and I'm here at Zenkaikon with Debi Derryberry. You might know her as the voice of Jimmy Neutron and Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius. She's in many characters in F is for Family. She's in Guild Wars 2. She's been in Toy Story, Final Fantasy. And she's the author of Voiceover 101, How to Succeed as a Voice Actor. So how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Kyle. This is a super fun con, and I'm glad to have made the trip. Yeah, from California.
Well, a little bit of a ways, a little bit jet lagged, or,
No jet lag. I mean, we're staying up later, so we'll stay on schedule back at home.
Well, that's good. I do have to ask, you've been in the business for a while,
Definitely a long time, like over 30 years.
Right, which is amazing since you're 32.
Exactly. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, you came practically out of the womb and started doing voice acting.
Yeah, well, many of my jobs are just crying like a baby. So, yeah, I'm good at it. It's just lasted.
Very perfect. How has the process changed as far as auditions and the business as a whole through your career?
That could take a long time to describe. But basically, when I started, we had a pager. Remember beepers, pagers? Well, we didn't have those, but we had a phone. And then the agent said, you need to have a pager because that was the newest technology. And we'd pull over to the side of the road, find a payphone, call the agent. They'd tell us when our audition was. We'd drive to a studio, audition, and come home and wait. And we'd drive into the agency to do our auditions. So we might have 3 auditions a day, 3 times a week, like maybe 9 or 10 auditions a week. Now, cut through many changes in technology and iPhone, Palm Pilot iterations, we have home booths and post-pandemic. So I have a home studio, and I had to learn a lot of technology, how to run my DAW and picking which software, which interface, which microphone, how to run it. And now we do, 10 to 12 auditions a day, as opposed to, 9 a week. I'm doing close to 40 to 50 auditions a week. And I can do it from anywhere in the world. It's changed so much, and it seems like everybody wants to be in voiceover, so the competition has become just so fierce because there are so many great voice actors all over the world. Sometimes the producers prefer that you live near where they're recording, i.e. LA. So I think it's still a benefit to live in LA for VO.
Okay, awesome. Now, when you're looking at these characters and auditioning, what factors do you take into account when you're coming up with the voice of the character that you're going to play?
That is a great question. The business of being a voice actor is that you are an actor, not just I can do voices, right, but you have acting training. And when I'm coming up with a voice for a character, they'll generally send you a picture. So a lot of voice actors will look at the picture as part of the creation of that voice. For instance, if it's a teenage girl with braces, I would say, okay, so my teenage voice lives about here, as opposed to down here, or here, or here, or here. My teenage voice is somewhere in here. And then I know, okay, I look at the picture, all right, she's from the South. Okay, I will shove a Southern accent, and not a generic Southern accent on top of that teenager, okay? And I know that teenagers go up at the end, that's their thing. They have this lilt. And then, oh wait, she's got braces on, so, okay, so I've got my teenage voice, she's from the South, and now I'm going to stick some braces on her, so that's her voice there. And these characters change depending on age, location, speech impediments, accents, whether they're monsters, human, fish. So there's a lot that go into creation of characters.
Absolutely. How often do you go against, it's like, well, this is a really big person, but I want to give them a really teeny weensy voice.
That is so fun to do because, when they send me a voice and the character description will contain words like gravitas texture, authority. I'm like, why are you sending this to me? So I'm thinking, well, the producer wants to see auditions on either end of the spectrum. And of course, I'm not going to be on the gravitas end of the spectrum with the texture. Texture in voiceover it's that sort of smoking thing, which I can't keep up for a long time. So I'll give them the other version of it. It's especially fun to do that if it's say, hippopotamus or an elephant. Vice versa, if the character, I'm talking about this and this is my life. I do weird things all the time. If it were a mushroom, I generally will get those, but it's funny when they give mushrooms to big, deep men voices. Like this week, these last 2 weeks, I spent 8 hours just crying like a baby in the different stages of infancy. Another 8 hours doing baby animals, baby pikas, baby tigers, baby boars. So I didn't say a word all week. I worked 36 hours straight, didn't say a word.
Crying.
Yeah. So, back to the question of if I change my voice or what I think I want to do just to surprise them. Sometimes I do, just so that they'll go, oh, we never thought of that. Because producers think they know what they want, or the directors or the creators, but they may not always know what they want. I might know better.
Or they might not have considered it, and sometimes it's like, that's an idea. I thought I knew what I want, but now, Debbie made me see the light. Exactly.
When we were doing Jimmy Neutron, Sheen, who is one of the sidekicks, was written as an Asian character, and they couldn't find the right actor, and they called in Jeff Garcia, who's Latino, and he gave them his stand-up version of Sheen, and they changed the character description, and he ended up being Latino instead of Asian, just because they didn't think that's what they wanted, but then when they heard him, they knew exactly that matched up with what their idea of the character was.
Yeah, definitely they can make adjustments based on something they discover, and sometimes the actors are very creative people, definitely. Now, you've played a lot of characters that would be considered good role models, Are there characters that you played that you would be like, please don't use this character as a role model?
You're exactly right. I do love doing preschool shows, and I love preschoolers, and I have a few preschooler albums out because I sing as well. Mm-hmm. But when they had me audition for F is for Family, which is Bill Burr's adult cartoon on Netflix, I auditioned for the daughter. The character that you're probably referring to, Bridget, had not been developed yet. But because it's a bit on the rough side language-wise, when they showed me this character and the lines that went along with her, I just had so much fun with it. And it's fun being given the permission to unleash like that. And being actors, we have to be able to, wear different shoes all the time and put yourself in that character and just go with it. And that's what I did. And luckily, it doesn't sound a lot like me, so people won't know. But I do a wide range of characters.
And that's definitely one not to choose as a role model.
Oh, yeah. I would not be choosing her as a role model. However, I would say when you go to judge a person, you got to watch where you are, because watch what you're doing, because you don't know their history or what made them that way. And, I'm getting a little mushy here, but you have to approach it with sympathy and empathy.
And the world could definitely use a lot more empathy.
Agreed.
You just were saying earlier that there's a lot of competition now, and it's gotten even more in the voiceover world, especially with technology that people can use from home. Yet you've written a book on how to succeed as a voice actor, and you do voice coaching. Doesn't that seem like, you're going against your own interests?
I do it because I teach because I love to, and I teach because I admire persistence. If people want to study with me, if I have time, I will guide them and try and help them along in their VO training. I'm not really nice about it. I just I say it like it is, and I have a lot of students who want to be successful voice actors, but either they don't have acting training, but they have a cute voice, or they do have the acting training, but they haven't learned the specifics of microphone, and they want to do it, but they don't have the tech skills yet, because there's so many things that go into being a voice actor that people don't realize. And I get these questions asked to me all the time, so I thought I better write a book about it so people could read it either before, if they never come to study with me, at least they'll read the book and they'll get that information. And I just came out with the second edition because in the past, 5 years, there has been a lot of changes, not just since pandemic, just technologically. And what your first question is how things have changed. So I tried to keep up with it in the book, and I love to help, which is segues into that great character I love that I do on, it's called Tigtone, and I play Helpy, and Helpy loves to help, and I love to help.
Absolutely. Now, speaking of help, I understand you're a great advocate for spaying dogs and cats and, helping out, with orangutans. Can you tell us more about that?
Absolutely. In the city of Los Angeles alone, we try not to have no-kill shelters, but inevitably we have to put down or kill 60 to 80,000 dogs a year because there aren't enough homes for these dogs. So I recommend and I encourage people to rescue a dog rather than purchasing a purebred for a couple reasons. One is because you keep these dogs in the shelters or in the pounds from being put down, but also a mixed breed dog is healthier. They live longer. For instance, your German Shepherds, their back legs go out. For any squishy skin dogs like a bulldog or something like that, they end up with skin disorders. Or Dalmatians, you have the ear problems. Where if you have a mixed breed, a lot cheaper, you don't have to go to the doctor as often. And you just, she's saying to wrap up. So yeah, I do believe in rescuing dogs rather than buying purebreds. And for orangutans, their rainforests are being cut down to make palm oil. So I encourage people not to buy products with palm oil in them. Look at your label. Some of the Girl Scout cookies have palm oil, most peanut butters, hand lotions, milk. And so I want to make any change I can from my small part of the world. And that includes not buying products with palm oil and supporting organizations that save our rainforests.
All good things. Yeah. I noticed you didn't really talk about cats. I have 6 cats. 4 of them are rescues. So
cats also are there's a higher number if you want to talk about animals being put down. So yeah, rescue cats and spay your animals so they don't continue to have babies. Because if you need a baby cat, they are out there for adoption. Absolutely.
Now, they did give us the wrap-up sign, but are there any projects coming out that you can discuss with us?
A couple, yes. Let me mention my book that just happens to be sitting here. Here's what it looks like. It's available on Amazon, The Voiceover 101, How to Succeed as a Voice Actor. Second edition, I have a video game called Guild Wars 2. I play a character named Timey, and she has a disability. She has to ride an animal, and she's very smart. But the next chapter, iteration, if you will, End of Dragons, is out. And I think people will really like to see where Timey has come and what she does in this chapter. I'm working on a lot more stuff, but they're all NDA'd, non-disclosure agreements, so I'm not allowed to talk about them.
And we don't want to get you in trouble.
No, but I'm having so much fun and working a lot, and it was fun these last few weeks doing babies and mushrooms and boars and tigers and lots of other little animal sounds. And I did say a few words.
Can you share the words?
No.
All right. Fair enough. Anything you'd like to say to your fans?
Let's see. You guys can all go to my website. And thank you for being my TikTok followers. I've hit 1.1 million followers. So thank you. I love you all. And also my Instagram followers, my YouTube, and my Twitter followers. It's all at Debi Derryberry. And I never thought I would be this involved with social media, but it's sort of the way it has to be right now because there's so many platforms, and I have to learn Discord next. Thank you guys for everything and for listening. Thanks for having me, Ryan.
Thank you so much.
Did I call you the wrong name?
Did you call me Kyle?
I called you Ryan, but Kyle and Ryan live in the same spot. Do you ever have that? Like in my head, Kyle and Ryan live in the same place. Peter and Tony live in the same place. Chris and Tim live in the same place. So, you're lucky you stayed in the chapter there.
All right, so this is Captain Kyle. And thanks. And thanks everyone out there for watching. And as always, have fun and follow your fandom.
What a blast!
Thank you for watching this video. I am Invader Zim, and I traffic in doom! And so, if you do not subscribe to this channel, you will have doom that befalls you by me, Invader Zim.